Hello lords and ladies, welcome back to Cartoon Hangout, your place for all things cartoon. If I'm lucky, this video is going up mostly on time Monday, which is when I'm working on it. But if not, oh well. Episode 20, Giant Problems, has our lovable Scooby Gang visiting the Emerald Isle of Ireland because Daphne has discovered she's 1/16 Irish and her family owns a castle. I wish I had those kind of problems. If this concept seems familiar, it's because you're most likely thinking of the movie Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster, except in that movie Daphne had Scottish ancestors, not Irish. If you had thought they'd visited Ireland in that movie, don't worry, I initially confused Scotland and Ireland too, and probably ended up offending my own ancestors in the process. Ireland is visited in the two Scooby-Doo series, Laugh Olympics, and the second Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo series. The episodes The Grand Canyon in Ireland and Scooby's Luck of the Irish respectively. The monster this time around is a giant.
We're gonna need some bigger weapons of legend.
Yep, a giant. I think part of the fun of watching Scooby-Doo is figuring out how the monster of the week is going to get rationalized. Sure, when it's just a human-sized monster, you might say, just a guy in a mask. But when the monster is employing what looks like magic, a la the sorcerer from Sorcerer's Snack Scare, or in this case, is a giant, you could be forgiven for being slightly confused. Maybe I'm just a bit dumb, but I didn't even begin to think this was some mechanized construct. And yet it's not as if hasn't been done before in older Scooby series, so I probably don't have much of an excuse for not thinking of that. I will admit to hoping it was an actual giant. I think other than Mystery Incorporated, there's not been a Scooby-Doo series that has mixed fake monsters with legitimate real ones together in the same series. It's typically been one or the other. Just like in the 80s, the Scooby series introduced real monsters a little bit, so. Now, even though a giant is certainly not high up in terms of original monsters on my list, I still very much enjoyed this use of the creature. I think part of that can be chalked up to hoping it was a real monster, but the rest has to be how the gang interacted with the construct. Like Fred dressing up as a knight to take him down, or, my absolute favorite, actually turning the Mystery Machine into an honest-to-goodness mech, straight out of the Power Rangers or something.
What kind of modification?
That moment almost cemented this episode as my new favorite Be Cool Scooby-Doo episode, but that honor still falls to Sorcerer's Snack Scare. I will award this episode second favorite, though. Some other highlights were Daphne's latest Daphneism, using an Irish accent.
This land was once home to all manner of creatures. Fairies, leprechauns, giants. Aye.
Are you... Nah.
Which could have gotten old if it weren't for how good Daphne sounded with one. Or Scooby and Shaggy actually running away from food for once, which by itself wouldn't have been that funny, besides them doing the opposite of what they do in every episode, but the fact it was done Seuss style made it even better.
Try them dressed up as a knight.
No, we'll just put up a bigger fight.
I don't see why we must quarrel.
We don't like Coobies.
We don't like foul.
The only joke I didn't think was that funny was Velma not understanding anyone speaking with an Irish accent. Well, actually, it started off not amusing me, then it was kind of funny, and then it went back to not being funny. It basically flip-flopped around during the episode. I suppose that's better in theory than it just not being funny at all, but yeah. I think the funniest it got for me was this moment here.
Velma, what are you doing?
What?
She asked, "What are you doing?"
Daphne, you have chosen the worst time to become a hibernophile.
And I think that's because Fred has to explain it, and since he's far away, that was kind of amusing for me. But what of the giant itself? What possible older monster could this one be inspired from? I don't know. I looked through all of the Scooby monsters I could find and didn't see anything that resembled the giant. There were giant monsters, but not a specific giant with this motive. Now, so if any of you Scooby sleuths know of a monster this could be based on, let me know in the comments below. For now, I'm just going to claim it's original to the series. If there's one thing I enjoy about this newest incarnation of Scooby-Doo, it's that it either pokes fun at typical Scooby tropes, or it shakes things up, as I've explained in previous reviews. Now, even though this one was a small part of the episode, I like that the gang apparently got Colin's plan wrong. Velma even misinterprets it as the usual, "I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids" line. And we get no actual explanation for what Colin describes as a much more sinister plan. So basically what I'm saying is this was a pretty great episode. The Velma jerks were very hit or miss with me, but everything else landed. And even though I wasn't super thrilled to have an Ireland episode, I actually didn't think it was going to be that interesting, it had some really funny moments throughout, which I've already given examples of. And that's my review. And if you enjoyed it, consider leaving a like or subscribing for more Cartoon Hangout reviews. Thanks for watching, and Slán Leat.